The woman stands up in the corner, from the corner of the corpses, her hair mostly obscuring the top half of her body. It appears to be disheveled. Her front's disheveled, despite how well her hair was looking from the side. I'd, I'd, despite she's mostly obscured in darkness, despite the fact the priest saw her mostly, mostly in some form of light through the cracks of the house. The priest looks around, expecting an ambush. The girl stands up full. The girl stands up and looks towards him. Am I pretty? The priest doesn't respond. Why do you not look at me so? The priest looks at her. The priest then looks at her directly. I fear not. The girl, covers her hair, covers her face. What is it then? What is it then? She appears to be walking closer. The priest steps backwards. I believe it might have something to do with the corpses around you. Are you okay? He continues stepping backwards as she steps forward. She looks at him directly. Do you think I did this? She continues walking forward, her hands slowly contorting. No, at least I am not sure of what occurred here. Her hands continue contorting in the opposite direction. Then I'm a bigger fool than you are. Her hands then return back to normal. Right. Do you know when Asmodeus, I assume? The girl looks at him, almost in annoyance. Oh, him. Her hands, move back down to her sides. I don't like him. Why not? He asked for you to come back. You don't know, do you? Know what? I wanted to get rid of him, but alas, he always comes after me, and always asks me to come back. Her voice appears to be much more monotone. Are you disappointed? Do you not like your current circumstances? No, not at all. She looks at him in an almost aggressive look. The priest is close to ready to attack, but decides to remain on the defensive. So, so, Asmodeus told me to return you to him. Now, there could be one of two ways this can happen. I already know those methods. He wants me to come naturally, or he'll come get me himself. Unfortunately, the circumstances have changed. You can either come with me nicely, or by force. She now fully steps into the light. Her face appears to have a numerous myriad of tattoos, likely in several markations down her body. Markation has her body. There also appears to be a long scar across the top half of her torso. Oh, so that's how it is now. My master abandons me and thinks he can just take me back by force. I'll have you know, priest, I'm not going to take this lying down. So be it. But know this. Whether we fight or not, you're coming with me. I'm not taking this from you. taking this from you. Then again, I have no real reason to fight you. You look too squishy. Oh, so all that flesh, not even close to anything resembling a sin. What are you, really? A priest, nothing more. Then you're a big... Then you are... Never mind. She she looks over. She looks over to the window. No, back to the priest. I assume you want my name, then? No, I care not for names. Figures. Why, you want this to be another one-night stand or something? I do not do hookups. Shame. Name, you'd have been nice. For an albino, anyway. Seriously, what is an albino? Never mind. Anyways, priest, I assume you're gonna do something about the second visitor in the room. Second visitor. The winged one. The what? He turns around, but before he does, the wings appear, smacked him out of the window. Smacked him out of the window onto a car. Nearby car. God. Ugh. What was that? A bound being flew out of the building, hitting it onto the sidewalk. Priest. God dang it, this was supposed to be an easy job. Just get this done and you won't have to deal with demons. He gets up. So, what are you? I don't think it would matter for you much longer anyway. Hey, my master wants you dead. Who is your master? Secrets. Secrets can never be shown. Especially not to you. Now, unless you have something else, I suggest you use your ring before I rip you in two. Chains start appearing from the skies. Guys, the priest manages to dodge out of the way, as the chains tear through the car ripping it apart. Come back here, priest. The priest manages to run. He manages to run into a nearby alley, temporarily avoiding the angel's sight, or at least what little sight he has. My God, what's going on here? I thought angels were not supposed to attack servants of God. Times changed. What's that? Hey, finger. He looks down at the ring. Yeah, it's me. It's me, priest. I assume you have something to do with this? No, nothing at all. It appears that someone wants you dead. For what reason? I do not know, but likely and maybe perhaps because of your priestly duties. So, just by being a priest, I'm about to get hunted down by 60 different angels. Correct. And not. So who are you anyway? I don't know. You don't know? No. I am a newborn, as one would say. So what then? You are just brought into existence without a way of telling anything? Pretty much. I don't remember. I don't remember my name, my parents. I don't even know what powers I have. Well, that's just great. That's just great. They gave me a goddamn defective ring. Defective I am not. As a defective ring would have betrayed you in a second. So what now? So what now? Are we just supposed to work together or something? Close. But I believe I believe we only have a few seconds before he returns, earns, and finds us. He is an angel after all. As expected. I suggest we find somewhere to lay low for the time being. We don't have any active weapons against that angel, and unfortunately your holy cross and rosary is not going to do much. Of course. He looks down. He looks further down the alley. I see an old coffee shop from here. Let's head there. Regroup and think of a plan. He heads over. He heads over to the coffee shop. Being fair, watching the skies fairly carefully to avoid the angel swooping down upon him. He enters inside the coffee shop, and orders a black coffee. So, he drinks it. He drinks it down. He drinks the whole thing down. The one day I try to help people out. It could be worse. A figure appears in front of him, with dark purplish skin. His eyes as well, having that same purple hue, but a darkened red around them, almost as if the demon hasn't slept in weeks. I assume you're the demon in the ring. Correct. So what are you, blank one? Like I said, I'm a blank slate. I have no name, no identity. But I can help you. How's that? The angel hasn't noticed me yet, probably because I do not have any abilities of my own, as one would say. But I also feel empty, in a sense. What does that mean? I don't exactly know. But maybe we'll figure it out once we defeat that angel. Perhaps I'd know what to do then. So, what do you know? What do you know about this angel? Not much. Like I was once incorporeal at some point. Nothing more than matter and dust. Then I was forged into this ring, and thus how my memories came to be, and how my existence came to see. So you're what some would call... No. Constructs would not be a correct name. Just a demon born from the stars. Interesting. So, what do we know about him? Well, judging from what we saw today, well, earlier this hour, we can safely assume that this angel has the power of the chains. He appears to be heavily bound in it and able to use it to tear people apart, and vehicles as well. So, judging from that fact alone, we should probably avoid any direct interactions with him. If we are too close within his range, his chains will literally tear us apart. I believe his accuracy has something to do with how close we are. So, the closer we are, the more accurate he becomes. So we have to take him out from a distance. Precisely. Do you have anything that could help? No. I have only my powers of faith. So, I believe I have an idea. What? He takes some pepper from the pepper shaker. Hager puts it into his hand. Angels can be blinded, temporarily, of course. But if you manage to get him in a way where you can hit him with something in between those chains of his, he might become agitated enough to start firing wildly. You could then, in theory, take him out. That is an idea. Problem is, how are we going to get close enough? Ah, that's part of the plan. Well, we still have that girl. There's still that girl in that room there, back there. Asmodeus will still not be pleased to know that she is missing. Or worse, we put her at harm's way. That angel's priorities isn't on her, it's on me. So likely she won't even be considered in the equation. True. Ooh. The sound of chains rattling can be heard outside, and the tearing of vehicles. The angel is pretty much going on a wild goose chase. That's no good, I assume. No, not at all. We need to do something. Otherwise, we're just hiding ourselves in a wrong way. Or we could be a bunch of Luddites. True. But of course, I will not abandon my church just because one measly angel decided I should. Well, then you should probably move out the way. Well, then you should probably move to your left. Huh? The priest moves to his left. As the priest moves to his left, a chain strikes down from the cafe. Causing the patrons to start screaming and running out of the building. Priest! Uh-oh. I believe Eve now's the time to run. No, we fight him here. Well, here he comes. I'm coming for you, priest! The chain starts popping up from the floorboards as the priest starts moving and dodging towards the kitchen. As he jumps over the counter. The angel enters inside. I to the front door. The priest is able to get a much better look at him, and from here. The chains were binding across his eyes and his entire body. What remains of him is nothing but a pale being of molded flesh. Its wings just as bound as he is. His movements, despite looking slowed, appear to be just as fast, as is the very chains he summons. Priest, where are you? The priest looks under the counter. Now that's what I call luck. He grabs the shotgun from underneath. He checks it. Of course, it only has 2 bullets. A double barrel might be useful in this situation. We still need to blind him, though. Otherwise, we could be just as haunted as as earlier. What about food? He's looking for a priest, right? Why don't you ditch the priestly disguise, and you might be able to fool him. Impossible right now. I have no way of undoing my cassock. Especially in this public. Are you wearing anything else under there? Are you serious? It's comfortable. You really need to put something else under there. The only thing I have under there is a pair of pants. And that is not exactly casual wear. But seriously, you need something else. It's not my problem. Considering that angel is still going to be here when I do so. So even if I was able to successfully fool him, he could easily find out the disguise. Then we'll need to try something else. I got an idea. Wait here. The demon moves from the counters to behind the kitchens, activating the ovens. The angel sniffs around the air. Some food. I haven't eaten since I got here. Place is empty. Guess they wouldn't mind if I grabbed a bagel. The chains move towards, starts moving quietly towards the pastry shelf. The priest quietly laying down on the ground. As the chain grabs the donut. Donut then pulls it back to its owner. To savor this taste ever since my long awakening, and the hunt soon concluding. He eats the donut on the chain, slowly, trying to savor every taste, every crumb. This angel, he's been bound for so long, he barely remembers the taste of human food. He has yet to consume its delicacies, its many, many intricacies, its taste, its flavor, its texture. It's been so long. The demon even manages to lay a place of food. The angel turns right around, but the demon is gone by the time he checks. A plate. He approaches the plate. How interesting. He consumes. He sees what appears to be burnt eggs. Burnt eggs with bacon. Bacon and a small amount, and what appears to be a small amount of white rice. I never had this before, but it doesn't smell like it's against Lent. To consume. But how do I consume? The chains move across from his eyes as the priest sees what appears to be a mangled mesh of numerous eyes staring at the plate. 9 eyes in total. This angel looks like to be one of the true angels. The priest then remembers something he put in his cassock. I think I still have it. He pulls out what appears to be the pouch of pepper that the demon had earlier. Appears to be a fistful of pepper that the demon had earlier. As the priest blows it right into his eyes. Priest! The chains start flying out wildly, hardly attacking any nearby object or person attacking any nearby object, windows included. Civilians got out of the way near immediately. One of them called the police, but a chain pierced right through their leg. The angel pulls them through the window. Are you the priest? The angel angrily demands, I don't know what you're talking about. Where is the priest? He's almost violently immediately. Tell me or I'll tear you in two. The chain started licking up to the innocent. The priest then readies the shotgun, quietly. He knows that this is going to be much harder than he thought. He needs to distract him somehow before he can get a clear shot. He realizes his rosary. He throws it across the room, causing the angel to temporarily turn around. What? He then fires one of the bullets, hitting a clean shot through the skull. He screams out in agony as he drops the civilian, and the civilian runs off. His skull now leaking white holy blood across the floors as it turns gold as it slowly dries. Priest! He screams out. Through gritted teeth. His eyes now fully recovering from the pepper attack. Priest! I'm going to tear you limb from limb. However, his chains do not come. What? No, it cannot be. The blood bleed. His blood continues to spurt out of his head. The demon. The demon appears to grab up the blood and despite not having a mouth, absorbs it through his hands. Priest, you didn't tell me you had an ace up your sleeve. But why can I not see it? He looks around. Trying to find the demon, but the demon has not even been seen by the angel. The priest realizes something. The demon's invisible. It's too low below its radar. Why can I not sense it? Why can I not see it? Come out, foul demon! Face me! His mouth also spurted out some blood in that statement. If you won't come out then I'll just search for you, using every chain in my body if I have to. He continues his chain barrage, now looking actively for the demon. It's focused entirely off the priest. Big mistake. The priest raises his shotgun again, but the chain knocks it out of his hand. During his wild barrage. The priest quickly grabs the shotgun again. However, it's been knocked in a way that he cannot. However, it's been knocked down in a way that the bullet is unable to be found. Dang it! Here I thought I was going to have an easy shot. The priest tosses the shotgun away. The priest tosses the shotgun in the angel's general direction as the chain destroys it. Oh, priest, I forgot about you as well. His chains are now much more inaccurate. Largely due to the hole in his head impairing his motor functions. As the priest starts throwing pastries at the demon. Throwing a pastry at the demon. Even distracting the angel. From the priest as the demon vanishes before the chain hits him. They both then run onto the kitchen. The priest and demon then head to the kitchen. Priest. The angel is slowly floating over. He knows his time is limited, but yet he can only move in such a way thanks to its master. Crap. I only had one shot. What do you mean? There were 2 bullets. He knocked out the second one. I have no idea where it went, and destroyed the shotgun in the process. Well, that's just great. Any other ideas? Well, got a plan? I got a plan. It's not gonna be a big one, but it's a plan nonetheless. I think it might be able to use its own magic against him. How so? I had a taste of its blood. I'm not sure, but I think I might be able to use it. I'll need to test it, but you'll need to get close. Piss! The angel appears from behind the doorway. Priest. Forget the chains. I'll just rip you apart with my bats. The angel throws the first punch as the priest dodges out the way. He knows he's not going to be able to fight an angel head-on like this. So he grabs a nearby frying pan and starts trying to attack him as much as possible. The pan just smacks across his body. Due to the fact that it was not cast iron, the pan breaks at the handle. After the first 3 hits. God dang it. He then tosses the handle at the angel, but the angel was able to catch it and toss it away. Any time would be nice. He turns on one of the The angel grabs the priest by the head and turns on one of the burners. Priest, I was figuring that roasted Catholic would be nice. He starts trying to push him towards the burner. Before before the angel could finish the job, Abba Chain spears through him. No, this can't be possible. The priest uses the surprise to get him off, to turn the tables. Not hesitating. Not hesitating, he straight up slams the angel's face into the flames. His eyes now imminently blinded. The angel, the angel spurts out in pain. His chains have no eyes to guide them. He is confused, blinded. He also feels something is missing. As he puts his hand across his torso. No, now. Where is it? Where is it? The demon appears to have been holding a pure white heart. Heart filled with a golden-like ichor. You wouldn't dare, priest. Unfortunately, it's not my decision to make. Well, demon, I don't think you even deserve to live. He crushes it in his hand. The angel's body slowly melted into non-existence, ash spurting out from his skull. Whole now, his heart no longer functioning. The angel doesn't even scream in fear and panic anymore. He knows his fate now. His body turns into nothingness, returning to the very matter which it came from. My God. The priest sits down. The priest collapses down on the floor. Christ. How long have it been? Never mind. Demon. What says you? The demon absorbs the remains of the crushed heart. He then summons out a few chains, aids from his hands. Check the ring. I think it might have changed it. The priest looks at the ring. The ring was now wrapped in a chain-like substance. It was now wrapped in a similar chain-like design to the original angel. It appears he consumed it. Yes, I think that was quite appropriate considering the circumstances. Yes, I didn't think we really had a choice. Right. Let's return to the girl. I think she'll be fine now. Although, I think she'll be a lot less likely to try to attack us now. Yes. Dable? Yes, but can you carry me? I'm not sure if you can. I think I'm exhausted. It doesn't look like you were. Yeah, it appears you've gotten hurt by the glass during the scuffle. I cannot heal you, but I can patch it up as best I can. He finds a first aid kit in the back room. And uses it to patch up the priest's leg as best as he can. How long have you been a priest? 10 years running. 10 years consecutively. I first joined in a long while since well, I was originally part of a covenant when I was 14. I didn't officially join the priesthood until I was about 30. I worked for the Vatican, of course. I worked for the Vatican. Not publicly, of course. But I was in the church for long enough that I got nominated. I had all the degrees. Not all the degrees required, and I knew the job before me. So I just took over for the old guy. And worked at Vatican City. Vatican City for the first of my years. Then they started talking about transferring me. I didn't know much about the transfer. At least, until they questioned the bishop. What'd he tell you? Nothing I wanted. No information I wanted. He almost talked as if I was He talked about it as almost as if I was a puppet or a pawn in some sort of game. Ah, the clergy is always some game it's always some game. Hmm. You know the angels and demons. They play their own games as well. I may not remember much, but I believe I absorbed its memories as well. Hmm. It appears to have been summoned. Hmm. How was it summoned? It was summoned by someone. All I can remember is, in a room of 4 people, one was sacrificed, iced by a girl. There was a pimp in the room too, observing. His hand was blackened. Blackened. I don't recognize his power. At least not, at least not from his perspective. There was a man. He was terrified of it. I flew out. I had seen no more. Hmm. That must have happened earlier. That must have happened earlier yesterday. Yesterday or a few days ago. Can't have been more than then. It can't have been more before I arrived. They likely mentioned me in some extent. But who could have been? All I can recognize is a large coat. Dan. You recognize him? Yes. I recognize him fairly well. He gave me silver. He gave me silver in exchange for tithe. Tithe. That's odd. Why would Dan and summon an angel to attack me? Perhaps he sees you as a threat to his business. Unlikely. I have no intentions of interfering with the brothel that guy runs. You know he runs a brothel? How can you not? How can you not tell? The guy, I did not tell. I mean, the way he carries himself, the coat, and the fact he brought a girl with him, and the fact he never brings the same girl twice. You said, you said it was one. You said one girl. I saw a different one during the meeting I held with the town. That is true. But where does he reside? I do not know. That's the problem. It'll take me some time to search through these memories. I shall also return to the ring in the meantime until I have some information for you. That'd be best. Right. I've patched you up the best I could. You should be able to head back now. Well, I better make this quick before the police decide to investigate. Or this will likely just be put on the news as another gang attack. Fairly well. We should probably head out the back door, though, just in case. That'd be best. The priest stands up. The priest stands up, his leg still slightly injured from the previous fight, but now more manageable. More manageable. He walks out the back door. Walks out the back door and starts heading back to the apartment. Apartment where the girl was. The girl was waiting outside, wearing a coat. Now wearing proper clothing. Clothing. A small coat. A small coat with a skirt. A coat with a skirt. Or a small sweatshirt. Underneath. I assume you're ready then. Ready to head back then? Considering the circumstances, what happened earlier, honestly, I'd feel safer with Asmodeus than out here. Yeah, let's go back. Agreed. The priest escorts the girl. The priest escorts the girl to the church's basement. So this is where you've been hiding the whole time. The circle glows as Asmodeus comes out himself, fully clothed in a strong suit with an interesting signet ring containing his symbol. Ah, priest. It looks like you've been successful. Yes. I deem you had the fighter for this one. I see. Ah, if it isn't my lovely. Can I come back now? Yes, you're always welcome back, Ack dear. You need the rest. She heads back in. She heads back inside the circle, returning to Asmodeus' realm. And I guess I have you to thank, priest. Keep the eyes. Think of it as a gift. Right. So, what can you tell me about the War of Angels? That is an interesting concept. Hmm. Why do you ask? Because I encountered one before I found her. Found her. You wanted me dead. I think I remember that. I think I owe you that. The War of Angels was, of course, a long one. Happened over several thousand years ago, during the age of the Egyptians, I believe. Uh, long after its fall, of course. During the age of the Romans. Romans, Greeks, and the true foundings of Christianity. But the War of Angels is a long one. We had fought for a long time to maintain our dominance over the areas. But alas, we since lost influence in the American countries. Hmm. What about the European ones? We still had some European influence. Unfortunately, it wasn't as numerous. Hmm. And I assume the Middle East. Middle East wasn't still a thing. We still held some dominion in the Middle East, but very little demonic influence as of now. Much less angel influence. Hmm. So what then? So what does this have to do with my situation? Ever since the war had concurred, angels have been selling out their services to anyone willing to hire them in faith, usually with a sacrifice or two. Hmm. So that must be what have happened earlier. So, any person could summon an angel? In theory. But I don't think this person who wanted you dead had any angelic intentions. No, I don't think he did. But alas, my bed grows cold, and I have to warm it. Oh, I cannot stay long. Do not worry about your bishop, by the way. I'll move the circle somewhere less, well, public. Public as the basement of the church. Hmm. Doesn't matter too much to me. Hmm. But alas, I don't want any hunters coming in and investigating here now, do I? No, no, especially not after my errand boy. Ugh. Ugh. Don't remind me. Still, still, you've done a lot better than my others. Some have tried to abandon my goals, and I've had to send someone to hunt them down. You've done way better than I imagined. So, are you gonna leave now, or? uh, okay, then. I'm pretty sure you were looking for the brothel. Well, I think you know it. I think you know it a little bit more as Saint Maud's. The candle shop? I passed by it a few times on my way to get the confectionaries, but mm, yes, I think the very Saint Maud's. Have ever been inside? Yes, that candle shop does contain an underground brothel. I'm surprised the police hasn't investigated that place yet. Bribes and many. Bribes and corruption can always keep anything at bay. Until the inevitable, you mean? Yes, there is always an inevitable. But, ah well, I'll be leaving now. Goodbye, priest. May we meet again. Asmodeus returns back to the circle. The circle collapses in on itself, leaving nothing but an empty circle. No symbol. No symbol, but left behind the wax candles. Hmm. The demon. The demon appears once again. Hmm. St. Maud's. Interesting lead. But that's not the brothel we're looking for. How so? The angel did not go to St. Maud's. He went to another place. What was it? The brothel was, of course. That brothel is nearby your church, or in the area. I do not know which building. All I know is Tenement 4. Tenement 4. Sounds like we gotta talk to a Bradford. Sir Bradford, of course. He's not gonna want to talk to us, as you know. Hmm. What about his father? His father seems to be more willing, of course. Hmm. Well, he is the son of the construction company. What's not more reasonable than to talk to the father? It's not a bad idea, demon. But still, I would like to know you. All about you. I see. So, what is it about the, well, memoriam of this construction company? I believe the construction company will not take too long to investigate. Shouldn't be long anyway. Wait a minute. Aren't you a priest? Where is your flock? I do not have one. I've been recently anointed to this area. A foolish notion. Uh, Foolish nothing. Also, if you wish, we might be able, I might be able to assist you more. If you can, well, that ring. What about it? Well, I believe that ring may be able to be useful to our cause. How useful? The demon examines the ring, his hands flooding across it, fluttering like wings on the alabaster. Then he lets it go. If the ring, and I assume it is of my vessel, can be used to extract an angel's power, what's stopping us from using a demon's? The priest looks over at the demon, annoyed. I may be doubting my own faith, but using an angel's power is fine. We are borrowing it for our own purposes. It is of a holy nature, but I will remind you once again, as I have told Asmodeus, I am no puppet of demons, friendly or not. The demon is silent. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, we should head to the stomping grounds of bullying Bradford. Stomping grounds. Why does that sound familiar to me? Doesn't matter, demon. Also, I highly recommend you behave yourself on this trip. And why is that? Simply put, what you did in the coffee shop helped me out. I thank you for that. But I do still require that our secrets remain that way. I'm assuming demonic consortium is not exactly on your principled high list. Not exactly. Exactly. Your existence is quite helpful to me, beneficial. In exchange to maintaining that help, I will help you make out new memories. I see. Perhaps if we expand our base of souls, we might, keyword might, be able to track down another angel. What makes you think there are any on Earth? Well, considering one was summoned to kill me, I can assume that Dan would be the one to ask. The demon. The demon looks upon on the altar. Altar of the old cathedral before returning back. Sounds blinding. But of course, Dan is our only priority right now. Yes, I believe Dan is our priority, but also Bradford's an option. Why should we go to Bradford anyway? Hey, if we truly wanted to, well, get there, it's going to cause more problems than not. Especially considering who rebuilt our church. Well, your church, in that translation. True. Oh, the priest, he walks up to the pews, sitting upon them. He also looks towards the phone. The Vatican hasn't called me yet. That is unusual. Normally, the Vatican checks upon its priests every now and then. I haven't even heard any reports from the Vatican yet. No signs of emotions, no meetings, nothing. Back at the Vatican, it was like walking amongst the land of God. But now, feels empty, doesn't it? I guess you could say that. Still, enough of matters of faith or principle. That conversation gets boring very fast. No, we're looking for something. So, who we're looking for first is the question. Dan is of the more immediate concern. If Dan thinks we are going to go against him, he will probably summon another. Yeah, true. If we don't get his butt to calm down, we're probably gonna be dealing with one angry pimp. I can't believe this. I'm not even afraid to say this, but we're going to have to go to the red light district. Sounds intriguing. Yes. Intriguing schmeeging. Do yourself a favor. If you ever end up anywhere near the red light district, don't. How hilarious. Still, though, you're right. Dan would likely have a foothold in the area. But where are we to find it? Well, one thing to do. Ask around the slums. But you still do not have a high enough presence. We'll have to hold off for now. You're right. What day is it anyway? I didn't keep track of the calendar the last few times. Largely because I was too busy dealing with this situation. I believe tomorrow will be the day of your first sermon. Of course. Once I deal with the sermon, I think we'll deal with Dan. Of course, we'll have to be out at night. I hope you have a good idea of how to proselytize. Don't worry. I got something alright. Of course, it'll be about the attack I had experienced upon angels and demons. And maybe proselytize the bits. It's added a few Bible lines and verses, and everybody will be cool with it. Maybe put up a collections box. Probably not that. They're not ready for it yet. Still, I'm going to keep my stuff as, free from embezzlement as possible. Noted. Especially considering how the last piece ended up. Yes, I'm assuming you read it? Yes. I had the chance to while you were conversing with Asmodeus. Yeah. That seems about right. Anyways, get some rest, priest. I assume you'll need it. He heads up to the attic. As he does so, however, he notices an unusual smell. Hmm. Tobacco, ash, or... no, it smells too little like tobacco. Then perhaps we can discuss this sometime, priest. Now, if you can. And that's it for part 4. Sorry this took so long. It's unfortunately because I unfortunately had a few problems with the recording setup, like losing files, drive, not recording or storing it properly. Well, I then also had to get my computer checked out just to be sure nothing else happened to it. But, don't worry. It will come back on schedule, and hopefully I will be doing this bi-weekly. Weekly, I'll be putting on Demon Priest. And unfortunately, this will be the last time that this will appear on the Raw playlist. Or at least, nah, just kidding. It'll still end up on Raw Cuts, because, obvious reasons. However, do not worry, if you have any problems with it, you are welcome to comment down below. If you want to hear more, well, you know where to find it. Just slap your playlist on your liked playlists. You don't really have to subscribe, but you're welcome to do so. And that'll be all. Thank you all for listening to me. If you're still welcome to.